All right, and the topic is the Mount Rushmore of summer foods.
Your top 4. What are your top 4 summer foods? Let's think about the top 4 summer foods in your opinion. 833-390-KRBE. We can go around the room as well. Because yesterday we got into an off-air debate about what is the more satisfying dessert of the summer. Is it a popsicle or is it ice cream? In my opinion, I feel like a popsicle is more satisfying because it's so hot. Something about a cooling popsicle versus an ice cream.
Oh,
all that dairy in your stomach and the heat.
The popsicle is like drizzling down. It's all sticky in your hand.
But when you're a kid,
do the same with the ice cream cone.
You got to pull the wrapper down strategically. You got to slide it down like a hand umbrella.
Or you got to push pop. That way it never drips down.
Yeah.
Push pop.
I'm not in those. Listen to those.
The
we can start.
Push
I have some
pop
pickle
is
ones.
Good.
You
Which one?
pickle
the
pop?
Flintstones push pop.
Push pops.
Oh, yeah, that's
they're
the
so
one,
good.
man.
Yeah.
The Flintstones orange push pop is my
We
childhood.
have the Schwan guy come.
Schwan.
Not the Schwinn bite guy.
Oh, Schwan.
No, Schwan. They delivered like
in Illinois.
frozen
Explain
foods.
what Schwan.
They have them here.
does.
I rated it. I've seen a few trucks here. Mm-hmm. It's basically, I live in the country, so they'd come out there, this huge truck, looked like an armored truck vehicle, but it had refrigeration in it, so you could get chicken strips, pizzas, hamburgers, ice creams, desserts.
All frozen.
All in this big truck, frozen.
Would you wave them
Kids
down
would
like
run
an
up and
ice
say,
cream
I want
man?
some frozen chicken strips.
Yeah.
No, it's not like the ice cream man with the music.
Oh, I thought you wave them down like I want some chicken strips.
No, you're subscribed to it.
Yeah.
Basically, is you're on a list.
Here comes the frozen chicken.
Stop looking at me, Schwan.
Here's a fun fact. Over the 4th of July holiday, I was spending time with my family in Galveston, and the ice cream truck comes to the beach. And, the music, okay, fine. There was a time when my children were smaller, and yes, I know, you've probably seen this online too, but I would tell them when the music was on, that means they're out of supply because I didn't want to deal with it.
I heard it from you first before I ever saw the TikTok. And then
Thank you for that, because I did start that when Alexandra was a mere baby girl who could understand what's that. I want ice cream. I would tell her no because I didn't want to deal with it. But of course, ice cream guy on the beach, sure. So I go up to him and I said, we're not really ready for this now, but I know my kids are going to want some. So when do you come back? And he tells me, well, it's probably going to take me a couple hours to get down to where I'm going. So it might be like 4:00 before you see me again, and I might be sold out. I'm thinking, God, I didn't think of that. Like, think of how many miles of beach that one guy goes.
and their window's always open. I feel like the ice cream will melt.
Well, no, they have
they're
it
down
in
in-
coolers.
I know, but you're still open and close.
It's called a freezer, Eric.
I know,
Deep freeze.
But when you have that thing open, that warm air gets in there. Then your push pop becomes all gooey.
So what would you say?
Okay.
Let's
Before
take
we go
Jasmine
around,
real
let's
quick.
go to Jasmine
Go to the
first.
phones first here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and at 833-390-KRBE. Hi, if you're just joining us this
Jasmine.
summer, we changed our number.
I know.
833-390-KRBE. Hello, Jasmine.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So who is your Mount Rushmore? What are your 4 summer foods that you just think are mandatory?
Who is?
The
Flintstones.
So my number one is, it's a little bit odd, but it's watermelon with feta cheese. I'm originally Middle Eastern and part Greek, so this is a one go-to food that I always go to.
Watermelon and
It's
feta.
delicious. I know it sounds odd.
No, watermelon feta salads has become like a thing the last few years in cookbooks.
Could you ask me how
you cube up watermelon, you do feta with basil,
And you cut the feta like little cubes and spread it over it. I'm just
or is it crumbled?
yeah, like how do
Yeah,
you do
or
it?
just like one bite of this, one bite of that. It's but we eat it exclusively, like just the watermelon and the feta, not as a salad. It's just
really?
We eat it as
Watermelon
a
feta.
meal by itself with no preference. When it's too hot, we just eat it as like a replacement for lunch, or sometimes even for dinner when you just don't feel like eating anything. And it's so refreshing. It's so filling.
See, I never had that
what would you
problem.
put-
I've always wanted to eat.
More. What are your
that's
other
one.
3? What are your other 3? If you got watermelon and feta, what else do you have?
Another one, of course, is ice cream, a fruit salad, and the last one, it's also something, I don't know if it's called fresca, which is basically like it's sold on the beaches by the Mediterranean, usually, at least in my part of the Mediterranean, and it's like a thin layer of biscuit, 2 thin layers of biscuit with honey in between, and it's like the favorite snack for summers.
Oh,
And what's it called?
I know fresca.
Fresca.
Fresca? Like
Fresca the drink.
Fresca, the cola? The soda?
Exactly.
That's
Okay,
funny. I never
Fresca.
heard of that.
That's very nice.
Look, we're learning something today, guys.
Look at
Okay.
us. Maria, thanks for calling the show. You have a great day.
Jasmine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jasmine.
Marina's on the phone
Marina
now.
is up next. Hi, Marina. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi
Hey,
there.
good morning. So, what's your Mount Rushmore of
It is
summer food?
The top 4 summer foods. Your go-to top 4 summer foods. What are they?
Watermelon, ice cream, snow cones, and popsicles.
Oh,
Yeah.
snow
Going
cones
for the
and
sweet
popsicles.
treats.
Your teeth are going to fall out by the end of the summer.
Oh, popsicle. You know what I started doing with snow cones, Marina? If I saw like the Kona ice truck somewhere or the place I started saying, I ask for easy syrup because I feel like you get to like that first top dome, it's gone, and then it's just like, it's way too much. It's just way too much. So I'm just like, can you do easy syrup so I can like enjoy all the ice? Otherwise,
makes
I got
sense.
a cup full of. But yeah, that's a good one.
Those are good.
Snow cones, ice cream, popsicles, and watermelon.
Let's go around the room so we
All right.
run out of time.
I'm going to start with, I'll go with mine since I'm about popsicles. I got popsicles, hot dogs, hamburgers, and like a cold salad of any kind. It could be a coleslaw. It could be just a cold salad. That's a summer food for me. Sorry.
Okay.
I feel like you're
I
playing
can't-
with danger with coleslaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave that out,
If
do
it's
not
out
want-
too long
I
with
gotta
that
have
mayonnaise
something
in
with
it.
the burger. I can't just have nothing.
Fries.
No, it's too heavy when you're outside. Maybe chips, but
What's a
I
given
like
when
something
you're
else
making
cold. I like something
burgers
else
on the
cold.
grill that you're going to have sides? But
Yeah.
I would say my 4 Mount Rushmore, and this goes back to my childhood. I'd say
Plant-based vegan food.
no, no. I'm talking about during the course of my life. These are the things I look back on for summer: corn on the cob for sure, watermelon, fried chicken, and burgers on the grill.
Fried chicken.
Nothing that Ryan eats now.
I
What's
eat
on your
the
list?
corn on
I'm
the
with
cob and
Ryan.
watermelon.
Watermelon for sure. Corn, although the corn here in Houston sucks.
Well,
Terrible.
you're a corn snob because you were raised growing
I'd pick
corn.
I'd go in my backyard, pick
Husk
off,
it, yeah.
husk
So then why is
cook
it even on your list?
Because it's summer. Well,
Yeah,
Ryan,
okay.
Ryan put ribs
Well, that's
and meat.
true.
He
That's
doesn't even
true.
eat meat.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like during. I just overall, I think those are the 4 biggest
you can
summer
have corn. You can
foods.
have corn.
Corn,
Yeah.
watermelon, grills, foods like hot dogs, hamburgers,
Yeah.
and then ice cream. Gotta have
Ice cream or popsicle
Oh, I
or
hate-
snow cone.
I do not like popsicles.
All right, Kevin, what's your top 4 Mount Rushmore of summer foods?
You know, when I was a kid, we not vacationed. I pretty much lived at the beach. The beach that you see the president go to, that's the beach that I grew up on as a kid in Delaware. So mine are a little bit different. Mine are water ice, which is
water ice.
kind of like a
It's
sorbet.
basically- It is like sorbet, but a little.
It's real
It's
sweet.
like a little liquid, more liquidy, so it's easier to eat it.
All right, so sorbet.
Did your butler bring this to you?
Yeah.
In the white gloves?
No, what you do is you flag down the little buggy on the beach, the water ice buggy. It's always
Don't they have Rita's on the seawall in Galveston?
Yep.
There's a Rita's.
No way.
Rita's water ice.
Yeah, wait,
is the
Rita's
same.
water ice. That's the-
Rita's on the seawall is the same thing of what Kevin's talking
61st
about.
Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right there, that gas station there.
Try it Houston, if you haven't. It's really delicious.
Okay, so you're starting your list with the sorbet. Do you
Water
have, like,
ice, water ice.
Water ice.
Caviar.
Mama Celeste Pizza in Dewey Beach, Delaware. Blue,
Specifically.
a pile of blue crabs
my
that you
God.
all eat
Oh
up
my
on the
God.
table.
Don't ever say I'm a
Richie
snob.
Rich
Come
here.
on, that's what we did. Like
No,
we
if
would
you
pile
catch
them up on the
crabs-
table.
Crab
And-
is not
and-
that
It's
bougie.
it's
Yeah.
not that bougie.
Oh,
You
no.
can catch them in Galveston, y'all. There's crab nets everywhere.
Holy crap. If I would have said that, you guys
I
would
know.
throw me in the bus.
Do you have
Where
escargot as
he's
the next
from.
one?
Where he's from.
Yes, everyone caught blue crabs. That's where the Maryland blue crabs.
Eric, you go to Walmart in Galveston all the time. They have traps for crabs. You just can catch.
We're talking about the Mount Rushmore of
The
summer
Mount Rushmore, if you
foods.
put
Yes,
this out
yes,
there.
they
I mean,
Yeah.
most people are not having sorbet
And crabs.
and
It's water ice.
expensive
Water ice.
crabs.
They
and-
scoop it
No.
out of a freaking jug.
Yeah.
What's your
it-
last one?
yeah.
What's your last one?
God.
What's the last one?
Champagne.
What is it? Champagne. Caviar?
Champagne, I bet. Let's see.
It's blueberry vodka and lemonade.
Oh, that sounds
That
refreshing.
can't just be all the time.
It
like
tastes
that all
best
the
in
time.
summertime.
Okay. All
Refreshing.
right. So you put some alcohol
I should
up in
put beer in
there.
there, I guess.
Yeah.
Amon, what would
yeah.
you choose for your top 4 summer foods?
Okay, snowballs.
like the Hostess snowballs?
In Louisiana, we call snow cones snowballs. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Because
okay.
snowballs are the waxy candy
Yeah,
or
those are
waxy
terrible.
cupcakes.
Snowballs, cool cups, which I've talked about before. It's like frozen Kool-Aid in a cup. You kind of shave at it.
Yeah.
Sausage, jalapeno beef sausage specifically, and pineapple soaked in Malibu rum.
Ooh,
That's
yes.
Dolly Dolly right there.
Yes.
You eat that at the pool.
Well, Dolly Dolly is a vodka.
And then once you're done with the little bin, then all the juice in there that's mixed with the rum and the
Did you
pineapple
put the
juice.
sausage in between the pineapple hole?
Ooh, I don't know.
you
I don't know
could, sweet
about
and
that.
savory, spicy.
Yeah, sweet and spicy.
Why not?
And drinks.
Yeah, why not?
Vodka
Yeah, but all
and
that juice
sausage
at the
sounds
bottom?
Terrible.
It's like Italian ice, right? For water ice, Kev, people are asking. It's like Italian ice.
Italian ice outright.
All right, coming up next, I know on Thursdays we do dive deep into people's relationships after 7 o'clock. It's called Roula and Ryan's Roses. You find out if your mate is cheating. But coming up next, what we're going to do is how do you become vulnerable to a cheat? Meaning not getting cheated on, you are vulnerable to the desire to stray away from your mate.
Oh, so these are temptations.
What is causing you to want to have an affair?
And these are for females.
Women only.
This is for women.
What makes a woman vulnerable to straying from her mate?
So we can listen to these guys and learn
Okay.
and try to make sure these things aren't in their life.
Let's hear what
a good
happens
point.
next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
4.1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan Show. So in the 7 o'clock hour, we do Roula and Ryan's Roses. It's all about catching a cheater.
Yeah, you feel like something's happening in your relationship that's just not going your way, or your mate's lying to you, or things aren't adding up. You come to us at krbe.com. We help you figure that out after 7 o'clock every Thursday. If you missed what happened today, you'll hear it again at 9. But a lot of people, there's a road to the cheat. There is a road to the cheat. And in the years that we've been doing roses, the person that is guilty has said, well, I mean, you made me do this, or they blame the other person somehow. Right?
Yeah, nobody wants to take
The turnaround.
Yeah, they want to blame themselves. I couldn't. It's your fault. Why I'm
your
a
fault.
bad
You
person.
made me do this. Okay, so there is an article about what makes a woman vulnerable to having an affair, and there's quite a long list of things here, guys. Quite a long list of things here.
Okay.
One of the things is that means every woman in Houston is vulnerable to this because it was living in a big city. If you are in a small town, the community tends to frown on affairs because everyone knows everyone.
Also, the choices are more limited.
In a big city, there are more places to hide, more people to meet.
That's true.
So they say a big city is a big contributor to this. If you just moved into a new community, you are vulnerable to cheating, but it doesn't say why. Why if you moved into a new community? Oh, because there's all these
'cause
new
you're
people
new.
you've
Oh,
met,
you're
and you're
clean slate.
the fresh
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
in the room.
Fresh meat.
Like, hey.
It's like high school or when you're a new kid. You said your school
Oh, yeah.
had the same
Everyone
kids
knew.
for like
Oh my God!
10
every
years.
year we'd get like 1 or 2 new kids per class every year, so you always knew who the new kid was, or you remember what year they joined that class.
and you're like, please, someone new, come into our group.
You have been if your mate criticizes your looks, it makes you vulnerable to want to cheat on your mate.
Oh, you feel put
absolutely.
down?
If you judge yourself by how you're viewed by others, and if you have a mate that is telling you constantly you're not up
Good
to
enough or
par,
pretty enough.
Well, you
You'll
should get
find
out of that
someone who-
relationship.
Does think you're pretty enough.
yeah, or if somebody just you weren't even thinking it, and somebody complimented you over and over, and it's a very nice person, you're like, oh, thank you so much. Look how I feel. Let's do it.
Yeah, those compliments. Yeah, it'd make anyone feel good, right?
Yeah. Especially when you're being made to feel bad at home all the time.
So they say, ladies, if you are a working woman, you are vulnerable to having an affair. Gosh, now let's think about
She's
this.
juggling them. Look like she's about to fall over.
That's only in a school. You spend 8 hours a day in close contact with your coworkers. We say all the time here on the Roula and Ryan Show that we see each other more than we see our mates and our kids. They say because women are still outnumbered by men in the workforce, they have more potential lovers.
Oh. So if you say they're in a big city, they just moved
Big
here.
city, work in a company that has more
if
men
you're a
than
dude
women.
And you're being
And
treated
you-
like crap at
And
work.
your
at
husband
home.
at home is criticizing how you look.
And some man appreciates you at
Yep.
work, takes a few extra minutes. Oh, you look lovely. I like that outfit you have today.
But if you're like a small town couple and you guys move to like a big city like Houston, you're the husband.
You're the fresh meat, and you're like, oh,
And you're like,
hello, look at
uh-oh.
all this. The other thing that they put on the list of what makes women want to cheat on their mates is you've always been the good girl. And you know, all these other factors are coming to play, and you've always been the good girl. You've never done anything like this. And then you jump over.
You want to be a bad girl.
Play it. I'm looking for it.
I've got it.
Come on, anyone?
Find it.
I'm a bad girl.
There you go.
Here's another one.
What's that ending for? Let's.
I'm a bad girl.
I have a drop like that to DJ with, and it's fun just to have a girl go,
How about this one on this list of what makes a woman vulnerable to cheat? This is very interesting. If you are not a working woman, if you have a a role that you know your mate is the breadwinner and you don't have to have the job, or you can't have the job because you're raising the kids and it costs more for childcare than if you worked. They say if you are dominated by your mate in security, like financial security, it makes you want to feel a declaration of independence by choosing to cheat on him.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you control everything I do, but you can't control this.
That's your choice.
Sitting home cooking all day, just thinking about who you're going to bang.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bang, bang, bangity bang.
You used the wrong oil. I'm going to tell you that's not how you make this vinaigrette. I told you only use olive oil. What are you using safflower for?
To hell with you. I'm going to go bang someone who likes my
And then the
oil.
last thing I'm going to end with is one of your parents cheated, and there's a greater tendency to repeat family patterns.
Oh, so it's learned behavior. You witnessed this growing up.
Well, Daddy was a cheater, so I thought it was just fine. He was right by the Lord.
Yeah, it's true. You do. You put your parents on a pedestal, and you well. I mean,
So-
they did it.
Daddy was a good man, except when he used to bang our neighbor.
What else happened, Tammy Ray? What else, Tammy Ray? Tell us, Tammy Ray. What else happened in your
How about for a
house?
man? What would you say the number one thing for a man is? If these are out
A
for
woman
women.
looked at him and said hi.
They touched your arm.
Woman
she wants
smiled-
me.
Woman smiled at him in the grocery store just because they were passing cards. 37530. If you are a woman who has cheated on your mate, did any of these points hit? Did you check a lot of these boxes, or maybe it was something else you want to open our eyes to? A lot of this stuff I feel like after reading it, does it kind of make sense? I feel like it does make sense. It just was written out.
I would think generally like neglect would be a big factor. And like you said, being treated poorly at home.
Your worth. They're not giving you your full attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody wants to feel loved, right?
Yeah. You should feel support, love, encouragement from
How
your
many
mate.
people cheat that they still get love at home? Like
You
the
mean
person-
Well,
they
I'm
just
still-
can't
Eric,
just be with one person?
I am
women wise,
still
I'm thinking for women. I think
traumatized.
guys are just
Okay, yeah,
wired
guys
differently.
different. I was going to tell you, I'm still like burned in my memory from the people we've talked to on our show. This girl who came on our show years ago. She was a paid lady, and she was letting us know about the men who would pay her. And this one guy, the whole time they were in the act, was talking about how amazing his wife is. They had 4 kids. Her body is amazing. She's an amazing mother. But this is all what he's saying to her as
But why
they are
is
in
he
the
with
act.
her?
Oh, because, you're
she
just
doesn't wanna do
different.
it
You don't
much?
do stuff that she's not going to do. And that's why she was just like
That could be a thing. I've seen
eye
that on
rolling
shows.
while she's
It's
doing
true.
the deed.
I mean, because if one person just doesn't feel like that's important in their life anymore, and
Or-
the other person still does,
Or if you have a kink and you're afraid to like ask them to do certain
I
things.
could never do that with my wife.
Because if they said no, that'd be embarrassing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can pay someone, and who cares what they think?
Hey, what happened to the lady that called our show? I remember a lot of things, but
you're
I
good at
remember
that,
this
man.
part. This was like maybe a month and a half ago. It was before school was out, I think. Remember, she called our show in the 6 o'clock hour, and she goes, "Don't judge me," but she had cheated on her guy twice,
yeah,
and she was
I
trying to get him
remember that.
back. And then we were doing an update, like, tell us what happened. Did he take you back or not? Do you remember what happened to that girl? So she cheated on him twice.
He found out.
It was with a guy that really, because the guy was threatening on Facebook to tell her mate
Oh yeah,
that they had slept together twice. And she was like, "Oh my God, I cut this off with you."
And he did.
What was the answer? Did he
He did. The
tell
guy-
the mate?
the mate-
She told the mate, right?
She did, and he left her.
Okay. I
You
couldn't
gotta find
remember that.
the listener line, or did
No,
they-
she called our
No,
show
she
live.
called the show. She lost
It was in the 6. Because we compartmentalize the Real and
Like,
Ryan
she
show by the
found-
hours.
She
Remember
felt
what we
really
do.
bad about it, but then he found out and he left her.
Yeah, because he couldn't get past the fact that she kept that secret of the cheat, the 2 times cheat.
Yeah,
That is the catch-22.
I don't think I would leave somebody.
You cheat on somebody because
There was
they're
a
not,
story
you're not feeling it, and then you
about-
feel so much remorse that you cheated on
There was
them
a
that you just
story
want anything in your life to keep them,
Like
and they
2
find out you
weeks
cheated and
ago.
they left you.
2 weeks ago, there was a guy who divorced his wife of like 70 plus years because she cheated on him during World War II.
Was that
Like 70 plus years ago. Yeah, it was like
If it happened last week, I don't know because
it showed up in my
Barrel.
feed before Barrel, and I just remember like, wow, this guy's she's been loyal to him for like 75 years, but she cheated on him. And they're in their 90s, and he divorced her.
What is the like? Say it's been 20 years, and then they tell you that they had an affair on you.
Year 2,
Year 2. Would you stay with them? Probably.
Oh yeah,
probably because you built a whole life
But
with
if it was
them.
like
Right.
2 years, what about 2 years?
No, I think he'd get out.
2 years ago.
Yeah, or like say you're married 4 years, and they come to you and say, "Well, I love you, but
And 2
2
years
years
in.
into the marriage, 2 years ago, I had an affair. It was just one night. then
I
what
think
do
it's
you do?
too fresh.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't
I'd be
trust
out.
you.
So you're telling people, don't tell them, wait 20 years
I don't know
to
what to tell them. Okay, I asked the question, what made you cheat if you're a woman and you're listening to this list? We're getting some text at 375-330. This person said I had a miscarriage and then my husband refused to be intimate with me for weeks, so I ended up having an affair.
Why was he refusing to be with her?
Maybe he
Maybe
was
he's just too sad.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know, scared,
Or you
sad.
don't want to hurt your partner.
right.
Yeah. And weeks.
Maybe, yeah.
That's not that long. I mean, if you just had a horrible thing happen like that, I mean, a couple of weeks, it's understandable not to be intimate.
This person said feeling wanted and sought after caused the cheat. Another person said I had a history of cheating. I never blamed my partners, but I will say I usually strayed when the honeymoon phase ended and I felt like there wasn't effort being put in anymore. I would go looking for the new effort. They were chasing the effort, like the shiny, the new, the honeymoon phase.
I just feel like if you have to at least let them know to put effort in. You can't, well, they're not giving me effort, so I'm going to go bang somebody.
No, when you get
You
to
got to at
that
least talk to
point,
them and say, I just feel like you need to put more effort into this relationship.
Right. No one can read your mind.
And then if they don't, I don't condone cheating, but then I could see they would move on.
but if your mate
That's like I
came to you
told
and
them.
said that, hey, I think the relationship is in such trouble that I've been entertaining being with other people, that's going to like really snap them back.
Well, here's the
will
thing.
that make
That's-
them, maybe that'll make them, be a good spouse?
have an epiphany.
Or does that make,
if you're
that'll make
so
them,
unhappy in this relationship that you'd consider being with somebody else, I'm going to pay attention.
I'm going to change my ways.
Hold on. Somebody remembers our caller better than I do.
I saw that.
She had an affair for 2 years, slept with him 6 times. Then she broke it off with the guy she was cheating on. And the guy direct messaged the boyfriend or the mate, husband, whatever. And that's how the mate found out. He took her back and they were going to therapy together.
I thought he left her.
No, I guess he was threatening.
I do remember the therapy thing.
Yeah, the therapy thing.
Yeah. They did
And
say
the other
they were
thing
going
is, on the note of therapy, real quick, if you are a runner and you know who you are if you're a runner, it's like the effort person that just texted. You know, I told you a long time ago on Netflix, it still exists. It's a David Foster special about all the music he made that we love so much. You don't realize he's the one that wrote it.
Yep.
David Foster was a runner. He would always leave his wives. He would just jump from, he's married like 6 times.
I thought you meant like a jogger.
No, he was a runner.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
I'm like-
He was out on a run and he saw a hot girl.
And he
Like,
followed her.
I'm going to go with her now.
That's what I thought.
And he says, no, like a runner. He runs from relationships. He would run when it would get too hard.
Like in the park bathroom?
And he said the one that he regrets, he left his one wife that had, I think, 3 babies. Under like 5. He left her for the next wife.
What a D-bag.
And he says in that documentary he regrets that one the most.
No,
because
really?
He was so mature. And I'm thinking, okay, Catherine, what's her name?
Catherine McPhee.
I go, well, you're married to him now.
I just
He's
saw
done
them
running because he's old now.
I saw them at a fundraiser together, and they were performing. And she even talks about it, like on stage. She knows.
Now that I know that, I wouldn't help that guy. That's gross.
But now he's
You have
old.
3 kids?
It's kind of like
And you
Sylvester
teach
Stallone
them?
in the 80s, Eric. He was a runner.
Yeah.
He would jump from hot girl to hot girl until what happened? He got too old and no young girls wanted him anymore. It's like,
Not
I'm going to
gonna
go
listen to
back
his
to the
music
one I
anymore.
love.
He's with a young girl now.
Yeah, he's gross.
I mean,
Sylvester
he's
Stallone is?
No, I mean David Foster.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's like 75. I think she's like 39.
Well, y'all go to the listener line, 713-278-VENT. That's
Cheat on her,
8368 on your phone if you'd like to leave us a comment on what would make you vulnerable to having an affair because you had one. Coming up next, I know Taylor Swift is in all things, right? She's still on her tour. She's coming back to the States. We're giving away trips to see her. And there is something, if you have a daughter in your life that you love, whether you hate Taylor Swift or you love her, this is a good thing for your daughter. I'll explain next on The Roula and Rain Show.
Now, y'all ready?
This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop
On KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas as Taylor Swift makes her way around the world on the Eras Tour. Headlines and tabloid covers love to make money off of the fakest of headlines they can exist. Yesterday I was in the airport and I saw, I don't know which magazine it was. Was it In Touch? I don't know what it was. And they're like, the wedding of the century. How Travis Kelce proposed. No, he has not proposed. He's not. They just only made it up so you can get your headline.
How long have they been together now?
September of football season.
Yeah, it's got to be almost a year.
Maybe August, they say.
Yeah.
It started like right around now, I think. Like the
Because she
intros
came out
and
of
whatnot.
she came out of a 7-year relationship, and
Or
there
was it
was
6 with
6?
Joe Alwyn, I
Okay,
think.
so it was a long time, and then there was just maybe
I still don't know who
a month
Joe
or two.
Alwyn is.
I know me neither. 6 years with that
wasn't
guy.
famous.
We didn't pay attention because it wasn't the Eras Tour hysteria. But being a Taylor Swift fan is good for your health and for your daughter's health, especially when, not if, she struggles with body issues. I talked about this maybe a year and a half ago because it's been out for a while on Netflix, Miss Americana. It's about Taylor Swift. It's before the Eras Tour, but it was part of it when she was dating Calvin Harris. And when she was dating Calvin Harris, whatever award she won back then for maybe it was American Music Awards or something, you definitely notice how thin she was, like so thin, so thin. And she said that every time she would see like a troll hit her on digital, she would just stop eating. She would just stop eating. And somebody had to finally tell her, you need to eat something. And it's not if, it's when. If you are female, it's coming. Your child that you're holding in your arms right now as a baby is going to hit at some point, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, maybe 1st grade, maybe 7th grade, a body image issue. And they say that Taylor Swift, absolutely, according to the University of Vermont, they studied the impact on her fans' eating habits and body image. And they found that fans who felt highly connected to her were influenced to positively change their behaviors or attitudes around eating or their body image because of the messages in her music and the frankness that she had with her own struggles. And look, for some people, the struggle is you're stressed and you eat and you get bigger. For some people, you're stressed and you shut down and you waste away.
I think she's helped my daughter because she loved eating food and stuff and tried things and stuff. And and when they're younger, you can't really, they have to do it. They have to want to do it.
Right.
They
you
wanna
can't
have to
just
change,
tell them. They have to just do it. Something has to click.
And then she's that way now. She lost like 24 pounds.
Wow.
And she was just by changing her diet, being more, didn't eat Doritos and stuff. She doesn't drink sodas. She watches what she eats because she wants to, not because we told her to or anything.
Right.
And
she got the click.
Yeah, now she loves the way she looks. But I told her, I love you no matter whatever you do. I just want you to be happy.
Right.
And she wasn't happy for a little bit. Now she's really happy.
Well, and the other thing, too.
I think Taylor Swift, the music helped her.
Yeah, because she has so many of these different threads that are going through the message in her music. They say Taylor Swift can do more to change attitudes with a few sentences than we can do in our entire careers. So it's important to study people that have that kind of impact. Fans seem to take inspiration from the fact that she recovered from disordered eating and subsequently appeared to be thriving. So whether you can't stand her music, you're just done with her and being in sports because you just can't handle it, that there's football and Taylor Swift.
I still don't get that.
You have a child in your life who's a female. It's great to know that is a real thing.
And it's bringing females to watch football. Guys, you should like that. You should be happy.
But there was a backlash.
If the female in your life wasn't already into sports.
Because they showed her maybe 24 seconds a whole game, like when they added up. But because they showed
I think it was the frequency of how many times they cut away to her.
Yeah, but it's 24 seconds.
They didn't cut away to her. I think the thing that made some people crazy, especially on Super Bowl time, is I know my kids did it. I know your kids did it, Eric. They didn't even care about the Chiefs in their lives, their short 12, 11-year, 13-year-old lives so far. But they're like, go Taylor Swift's boyfriend. So if you were an anti-Chiefs fan, you're like, oh, shut up.
Hey,
who cares?
I fell in love with the Dallas Cowboys growing up in Illinois because I saw those cheerleaders.
Oh, because the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders?
They were on an episode of a show called The Love Boat my parents watched.
Okay.
I was a little kid and I saw that and I said, wow, those girls are hot.
So you wanted to start watching
and I love
the
that
football
star,
games where
and
that team played.
Those players, then it got me into it, and then I started watching, who's this Tony Dorsett guy? Who's this Danny White?
So little horny Eric.
And you've been a Cowboys fan ever since.
Yep.
Well, there's that Dallas Cowboys Netflix special. I've watched half the first episode. I just haven't had time to really lock in to watch the rest of it, but I know that the comments of that was like, this is so ridiculous how hard it is to be one of these revered cheerleaders and they get paid nothing.
Yeah.
They get paid less than the concession people in the stadium because they really do. They get paid like, what, $30 a game?
Yep.
And it's so much work to do those routines. So much work to do those routines. They need to step up the pay on the cheerleaders for all the sports teams. That's what I think.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
All right, Centerpoint Energy says it has now restored 98% of the customers. Yeah. There's still about 20,000 people.
You don't need electricity to power that horn.
Hey, make sure you check your meter readings.
20,000 households.
Yeah.
Customers still without
accounts.
But I was going to say, go through, check your meter, make sure that you're being billed properly.
And when he says check your meter, you get a bill every month, and you can look at it online and look at your usage. It will go up over the summertime, but compare it to what you have been using earlier this summer, because I guess what? Did CenterPoint screw that up too?
I don't know.
I'd
Look at your
keep
May
an
bill
eye on
versus
it.
your July bill, because the hurricane hit July the 8th.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we didn't have power.
And since it's hit, by the way, Hurricane Beryl's death toll in Houston has now risen to 18 dead. And that's after the Harris County Medical Examiner released the latest determination. Now, this list includes 6 people who died from heat exposure because of the power loss, and 2 who actually fell and died while trimming these trees, trying to all the trees that were down. So now 18 people have lost their life because of Hurricane Beryl in Houston, Texas. Now, Taqueria Randis is doing something great. They're serving free lunch for the linemen all the way through July 21st.
That's nice.
That is really nice of them. H-E-B and Kroger have announced that they're going to offer discounts to shoppers on eligible items. Now, from July 14th through the 21st, patrons will receive 10% off all frozen food items, including ice. And that's at H-E-B stores. At Kroger, they're helping customers in Houston by offering $10 off a purchase of $100 or more. And that has to be in a single transaction with the use of a Kroger
You got to
Plus
restock
card.
that fridge, all that food you lost.
Heck yeah. Started doing that already myself. Now, FEMA's aid package is designed to cover losses that are underinsured or uninsured people. Residents with property insurance are still eligible, but FEMA will not offer assistance for losses that are already covered by that policy. However, if an applicant's insurance benefits are delayed for 30 days or more, FEMA will step in and help. They can offer you help by going to FEMA.gov. That's FEMA, FEMA.gov.
You got to build an account there, so make sure you have a way to have an account, because they have to send it back to the confirmation.
An email,
and then they send a code to your phone and do that whole thing, and then answer all their questions of what was impacted.
And if you have been denied by your insurance, that's a great way to get that FEMA money coming to you. But they need that proof at FEMA.
All right, that's what's going down in H-Town.
Did you miss what happened on Roula and Ryan's Roses today? Oh, Charlie and Alicia. This did not go well. Hear how. What happened next on the Roula and Ryan Show?